monsters from the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's equal parts intriguing and chilling: Chernobyl and its so-called monsters. Now, before your imaginations run wild, we're not just talking about horror movie monsters. We're chatting about eerie mutations and the lasting impact of one of the most infamous nuclear disasters in history. So grab a comfy seat and let's get into it. First off, let's set the stage. On April 26, 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine experienced a catastrophic explosion. It wasn't just any explosion. It was the worst nuclear disaster the world has ever seen. Thousands of people were affected, and an entire town, Pripyat, was evacuated within hours. The disaster released a massive amount of radioactive particles into the atmosphere, leading to a 30-kilometer exclusion zone around the plant. Can you imagine the panic and chaos? People packed up their lives and left everything behind, and this was just the beginning of a long-lasting fallout, both literal and figurative. So what do we mean when we say monsters? In this context, it's a blend of reality and metaphor. The disaster created not just physical monsters in the form of mutated animals and plants, but also emotional and societal monsters in the hearts of those affected. Survivors dealt with immense psychological trauma, not to mention the haunting memories of losing their homes and how their lives changed forever. And then there are the actual creatures. Over the years, many reports have come out about strange mutations in the local wildlife, leading some to refer to them as the real monsters of Chernobyl. Let's talk about some of these unique animals. Imagine walking through the Chernobyl exclusion zone and coming across a three-eyed frog. Yep, you heard that right. Reports have documented animals with various mutations, such as abnormal growths or unusual fur colors. It's like nature is doing its own rendition of a sci-fi film up there. And plants? They haven't been left out either. Radiation has influenced their growth, resulting in some species thriving while others have dwindled or disappeared altogether. It's a wild mix of life adapting under extreme conditions. Now, you might be thinking, are these monsters real or just a bunch of urban legends? Great question. Chernobyl has become a breeding ground for myths. Movies and TV shows have perpetuated the idea of terrifying creatures lurking in the shadow of the reactor. But what's important to remember is that many of these stories are exaggerated. Scientifically, we call this mutation, not monsters. It's nature responding to environmental changes, rather than something straight out of a horror flick. For example, while some species may adapt or show changes, they're still part of a natural cycle. Moving beyond the wildlife, let's touch on the human side of this disaster. The toll it took on human lives is nothing short of tragic. Many liquidators, those brave souls who rushed to contain the disaster, suffered severe health issues from radiation exposure. People lost their homes, their health, and in too many cases, their lives. It raises tough questions about accountability in the pursuit of energy and the ethical implications of nuclear power. These human tragedies can feel like monsters too, lurking behind the headlines and statistics. Fast forward to today, and the situation at Chernobyl is a bit different. Nature has a way of bouncing back. The exclusion zone has become a unique, thriving ecosystem. Wildlife is actually returning. You might see everything from wild boars to wolves roaming the area, completely unfazed by humans. Can you believe that nature has reclaimed a space once filled with chaos? Scientists are closely studying this phenomenon because it gives us valuable insights into how life can adapt and thrive, even in the harshest environments. It's a strange twist of fate, right? So to wrap things up, we've seen how the monsters of Chernobyl aren't just terrifying creatures, but also a mixture of human tragedy and fascinating, resilient nature. From mutated wildlife to the psychological scars left behind, the legacy of Chernobyl is complex and multifaceted. It reminds us of the importance of learning from history. Thanks for hanging out with me and exploring this eerie topic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more captivating stories. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.